My name is Jatavia Mariah Stu, and I'm going to be interviewing
Stephen King.
Okay, so just to get started, my first question is just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Stephen King, as we said. I am the Director of Corporate Sales here at Texas A&M University Corpus Christi for the Athletic Department. I've also been the play-by-play announcer and voice of Islander basketball since 2000. So I've been around here for quite a long time, and I'm a Corpus Christi resident. I was born and raised here.
Oh, nice. Okay. So what led you to your career?
Interesting story. I've done a number of different things. I was in the hotel industry out of college, worked for Marriott Hotels, and then I became a pharmaceutical rep after that. Some things changed. It really wasn't happy in the role I was in at the time. Switched some things around. But what was interesting was I had a good friend said, hey, my father-in-law has been the voice of Gregory Portland for years, but he had a stroke, so he goes, you talk all the time during games anyway, would you consider doing this? So a friend of mine convinced me. I went and did a game, a preseason game, recorded it. They liked it. And so I started doing football on the radio, and I did football on the radio for about 18 years. And then during that time, while doing football, I had the opportunity to come on with A&M Corpus Christi when they announced they were going to have an athletic program. I came and talked to the athletic director. How can I be involved? I wasn't working for the university in a full-time capacity. So, and that first year, he had already hired someone for this job that I was doing. So I was the public address announcer. I was the PA announcer for pretty much basketball and whatever sport I can get my hands on. During that timeline, the next year I was able to get the opportunity to do basketball, which was fantastic. So I was able to do both and also maintain a different career on the radio as I was doing sports talk shows. I had a talk show in the mornings at 6 a.m. and then for about 4 years, and then another 3 years I had a talk show in the afternoons. So I was doing that, and after while I was doing the afternoon talk show, I was offered a position here. I interviewed and was offered a position for corporate sales director. Here at the university with the athletic department. And when that happened, I had to end my talk show. I was able to maintain, obviously doing the play-by-play. I had to quit doing high school football because as an NCAA employee, I could not work high school games.
Oh,
that is an NCAA regulation. So I ended that, but I ended up working for the university, and it's been fantastic.
That's really awesome. This is my final question. What if someone coming up wanted to maybe dabble in this,
Sure.
What would you tell them?
I came about it in a backwards kind of way.
Oh.
I was doing other things and came into it differently. I kind of think that I was probably destined to do something along this line in sports in particular, just because that's how I grew up. That's how I played all the sports. I did all those kind of things. I've always had a passion for it. And again, in fact, before I was doing radio, I was doing PA. I was a PA for here, but I was also PA for ice race hockey for 20 years. I was a PA announcer for semi-pro basketball. So I knew I was venturing in this area. Now, for people that are looking to get into it, of course, there's great education opportunities, great communications degrees, great sports journalism degrees. That's I would recommend that route if you know early this is what you want to do. This is what I want to do, and because with that comes opportunities to step into radio stations, either in intern programs or first jobs out or whatever it may be, whether it's radio or television. Whatever the broadcast medium you're looking to get into would be. So I would initially recommend that, but research institutions, find out what kind of programs they have that lead to that. Not because it's not only just broadcast journalism, but there is broadcast sports journalism opportunities as well. So that would be my formal recommendation. Okay. If you know what you're looking to do early, but if you're coming into it late, just try. I mean, I was banging on doors. I mean, I went and banged on the AD's door. He didn't know me. He didn't know me from Adam. And I went and I just said, hey, how can I do this? How can I be involved? So that's, just be persistent. And if it's something you really want to try and do, there's probably an opportunity out there for you, but you're just going to take time to get to where you want to be. I didn't get to do Division I basketball. Again, I was up doing football for at least 12 years before I ever got to do Division I basketball.
That's impressive. That's good.
It's fun. Good times.
Right? Good to hear that. Well, thank you so much, Mr. King.
No
for the
problem.
interview.
Anything else?